Okay. Good evening, everybody. Sorry for the technical stuff. I guess Mercury's in retrograde, as they say. Welcome to tonight's class. Tonight we're going to be moving more with, what's going on here? Sorry. Ooh. Playing some more with moving with the breath. Sort of with the idea, I was just thinking how to verbalize it, of lifting on the inhale and sort of settling into the pose on the exhale, moving through some cactus arms, very flows in standing, in lunge, and in crescent lunge. So to begin, we're going to start on your backs with your knees bent. And just sort of begin to settle in with the breath. It's beginning to feel the body settle into gravity. Just noticing how the breath comes in the nose, lifts the abdomen, and how the abdomen lowers as the air flows out of the nose. Beginning to tap into that sensation of lifting and settling. And then maybe here you begin to lengthen the inhale, maybe one count. And seeing if you can match the exhale. Maybe adjusting if you get a little bit of discomfort. Or maybe adjusting if you suddenly feel a little bit more space. And on your next exhale, begin to let your knees drift down to the right side. Inhale brings them up to the center. And exhale, let them drift down to the other side. Lifting on the inhale. And settling to the right on the exhale. And back to center on the inhale. Exhaling, settling over to the left. And continuing that motion a few more times to each side. And maybe adding in some movements with the head, maybe letting the gaze move to the opposite side as the knees fall. Whatever feels natural and easeful. And next time you come to center, go ahead and bring your right knee towards your chest. Give it a gentle squeeze. And begin to make circles with that right ankle. About 5 or 6 times in each direction. And once you're even, go ahead and let that foot settle to the ground. Pausing for a moment. Adjusting the shoulders and the hips, the feet. And then bringing the left knee towards the chest. Again, giving that a squeeze. And making circles with that left ankle. Again, 5 or 6 in each direction. And once you have evened yourself out, go ahead and let the foot drift down again. Pausing here for a couple of breaths. And then we'll take an inhale here. And exhale, go ahead and bring both knees in towards the chest. And on the on the inhale, we're gonna extend the right leg out about 6 to 8 inches off the ground. And exhale, pull it back in towards the chest. And inhale, we'll do the other leg. So left leg will drift out. And exhale, bringing back to the chest. And inhale, right leg extends. Exhale, right leg bends. Inhale, left. Exhale, back in. About 3 more times each leg. Moving at your own pace. Last one each side. And once you've brought that left leg back in, go ahead and rock gently from side to side, giving the low back a little bit of a break. And as you're ready, go ahead and let your feet settle down, keeping the knees bent. And bring your arms by your sides. We'll do a few arm raises here. So inhale, arms will lift up, coming over the head. And exhale, bring them back down to the sides. Inhale, they float up. And exhale, drift down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Couple more times. And then go ahead and raise your hands or arms so they are perpendicular to the floor. And hands relaxed, letting the shoulders settle. And go ahead and begin to make circles with those wrists. And then switching directions. And then letting the hands, arms drift down, settling on the floor. Pausing for a couple breaths here. Seeing if you can feel any little bit more vitality. Then go ahead and make your way onto your hands and knees for tabletop. Maybe putting a blanket under your knees if you've got sensitive knees. And settling in with the hands. We'll begin to move through some cat and cow. So inhale, tailbone lifts, belly drops, chin lifts up. And exhale, tailbone tucks, spine rounds, head tips forward. Inhale, we'll go ahead and reverse. And exhale, coming up and forward. Continuing that movement. Waking up the spine. Maybe some of us sat all day. Or maybe some of us stood all day. It's always nice to move differently than how you spend 8 to 10 hours. Last one. Inhaling cat pose. Exhaling, or inhaling cow tilt, exhaling cat pose. And then go ahead and come to neutral. Readjust. And begin to make circles with your hips. Beginning in whichever direction is your jam. Do about 5 each way. And then once you've finished with that, go ahead and find neutral. Close the eyes. You find a little bit of engagement in the lower abdomen, adding stability to the low back. And walk your hands forward about a half a handprint. We'll tuck our toes and lift knees about 2 to 3 inches off the ground. I'm gonna be here for about 5 breaths or so, keeping the navel pulling more in, maybe pressing back with the toes. It's not quite downward dog. Building a little bit of heat in the core area. And then go ahead and walk your feet towards your hands, coming into a forward fold. And again, your hands can rest on the floor, or you can grasp opposite elbows. Lifting your toes, feeling through the ball of the foot. Letting the head be heavy, neck be long. You feel a little bit of pull in the hamstrings. And inhale, lifting halfway. Hands can come to shins or the knees or the thighs. Breathing here. Pulling the shoulders down and away from the ears. And exhale, gently folding forward. And inhaling, lifting up, reaching for the sky. And exhaling, finding mountain pose. So mountain pose, go ahead and close your eyes. Maybe lift the toes, soften the knees. Letting the shoulders unfurl. And opening the eyes. We'll do some marching in place. So we're going to inhale, lifting the right leg and the left arm. And exhale, lowering down. Inhale the other side. Left leg, right arm. And exhaling, coming down. Inhaling the other side. Exhaling down. Feeling that lift with the inhale. And that settling with the exhale. Out 3 more times. Last one. And closing the eyes. Couple breaths. Maybe beginning to feel that lift and settling. Bring a little bit of buoyancy to the body. And then opening the eyes again. Go ahead and lift the arms. Palms pointed towards each other on the inhale. And exhale, palms turn forward, elbows bend, goalpost or cactus arms. Inhale, lift, palms point together. Exhale, palms rotate forward. 3 more times like this. And then inhaling up, adding chair pose. Inhale up, arms up. Exhale, knees bend, arms come down to cactus. Inhaling, everything lifts. Exhaling, everything drifts. 3 more times. Again, coming as deep into those knees or as shallow into those knees as you feel. Last one will come down and pause here for a few breaths. Maybe seeing if you can lift your toes here. Gently knitting those shoulder blades towards the spine. Fingers are spread. And then inhaling, reaching the arms up. And exhaling, arms come down. And you roll the shoulders. You swing the arms a little bit or hug yourself across your chest. Just did quite a lot of shoulder or chest opening, I should say. And if you crossed your arms, go ahead and switch. One more inhale, one more exhale. And then releasing the arms. If you are not at the top of your mat, go ahead and make your way there. We'll move through a few sun breaths, sort of get things moving a little bit more. So we're going to inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, folding. Inhale, reaching all the way up. And exhaling, mountain pose. 2 more just like that. Inhale, lifting the arms. And exhale, folding. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, refolding. Inhale, reaching for the sky. And exhale, mountain pose. Last one. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, folding. Lifting halfway on the inhale. And exhaling back into the fold. And inhaling, reaching the arms up. And exhaling, mountain pose. And adding on here, coming to a low lunge. So inhale, lifting the arms. Exhale, folding. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhaling, hands come down. Left foot steps back. Left knee comes down onto a blanket. If you've got a bum knee, sensitive knee. And go ahead and bring your hands to that front thigh for a second, 2 seconds. Feeling into that foundation. Foot pressing down, knees gently pressing down. And then next inhale, arms are going to float up. And exhale, extend the fingers. Couple breaths here. And next inhale, see if you can gently reach those fingers up a little bit. And then exhale, hands come down into cactus. Inhale, lift. And exhale, cactus. 2 more times here. Inhaling, lift. And exhaling to drift. Last one, inhale up. Exhale, settle. And pause here. See if you can bring a little bit more broadness to the chest. Sort of lifting from the armpits a little bit. And then exhaling, hands come down. Inhaling, lifting the back leg. Exhale, stepping forward into a fold. Lifting halfway on the inhale. And exhaling, rounding the hands to the other side. Right foot's going to step back. Right knee settles. Hands come to that left thigh. Settling into the foundation. And lifting the arms on the inhale. And exhaling out the fingertips. Another couple breaths here. And inhaling, gently reaching those fingers up. Exhaling, cactus. Do about 3 more rounds here. Inhale to lift. And exhaling to settle. Last one, arms come up. And exhaling down and pausing here for a couple of breaths, about 3 or 4. Seeing if maybe you feel a little bit of lift in that back quad. And then exhaling, arms come down to the mat, hands come down to the mat, I should say. Inhale, back knee lifts. And exhale, steps forward into a fold. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhaling to fold again. Inhaling, reaching all the way up. And exhaling, mountain pose. Closing the eyes. Checking in from the feet. Seeing how they feel. Coming up the knees and the quads. All the way up to the top of the head. And then opening the eyes, we will come into a high lunge or crescent lunge, and we'll do that same cactus motion with a little bit of lifting and settling, lifting and drifting with the legs. So inhale, lifting the arms. Exhale, folding forward. Lifting halfway on the inhale. And exhaling, hands come down. Left leg steps back. Finding your foundation. Maybe move your front foot out a little bit. Active through that back leg. Inhale, hands come to your front thigh. Again, finding the foundation if we lost it. And then inhaling, lifting the arms, and exhaling out the fingertips. And then next inhale, go ahead and gently straighten that front leg, reaching the arms a little bit higher. Exhale, bend that front leg, bend the elbows. Inhale, lift. And exhale, drift down to that settle. About 2 more times, inhaling up. Exhaling down. Last one, inhaling up. And exhaling down here, pausing for a few breaths. You're finding a little bit more space in the chest. And then coming into a twist, that left hand's gonna come down to the mat. Right arm is gonna reach up. About 5 breaths here. And then next exhale, that right arm drifts down. Pause here for an inhale. And exhale, left leg steps forward. Pause or inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, refold and come step your right foot back. I'm gonna come to this side so I can face the camera. Again, setting the foundation. Re-widening the feet as you need. Strong through that back leg. Inhaling, hands come to that front quad. Exhaling here. And maybe inhaling, lifting the arms. And exhaling out the fingertips. Couple more breaths here. Feeling the stability. And once your next inhale, gently straighten that front leg. Reach up and exhale, drift down, cactus. 3 more. Inhale, lifting to reach. Exhaling, settling down. Last one. Inhaling up. Exhaling to settle. Pausing here. And finding a twist with this side. So right hand's gonna come down. Left arm's gonna reach up. One more inhale. And exhale. That arm's gonna come down. Pause here for an inhale. And exhale. Back leg steps forward into a fold. Inhale, lifting halfway. And exhaling, finding a fold again. Inhaling, reaching all the way up. And exhaling, finding mountain pose. Pausing here for a few breaths. And maybe still feeling a residual lifting in the thighs. And then opening the eyes to face the long edge of your mat and have a block handy. So we'll be coming into a triangle pose. If you'd like it for triangle, go ahead and have it ready for you. But go ahead and find a wide-legged stance here. Hands on the hips. Inhale, lifting the chest, squeezing the elbows. And then exhaling, folding forward. The hands come around your, or fingers come around your big toes. Maybe your hands rest on the floor. About 3 or 4 more breaths here. And inhale, lifting halfway. Exhaling, hands come to your hips. Inhaling all the way up. And exhaling, relaxing here in this neutral position. And have your block, put it by your right foot. I'm mirroring you. So we'll start with your right side first. Go ahead and turn those right toes out. Make sure your heel and your arch are in line. And arms are going to float up on the inhale. And exhale, reach forward to that tipping point and gently settle into the pose. And anchoring down with the inside of that front foot and the back edge of that back foot. And inhaling, bringing up with the block. And exhaling, release, coming to the other side. So go ahead and keep your block in your left hand. Left toes turn out. Inhaling, reaching out to the horizon. And exhaling, reaching forward. And then tipping. And inhaling, lifting up. And exhaling, arms come down. Go ahead and turn your toes back in and heel toe your feet together, finding mountain pose. You can set the block down. We'll need it one more time. Closing the eyes here for a few moments, a few breaths. And opening the eyes. Inhale, lifting the arms. Exhale, folding forward. Maybe your hands come to that block for a little bit of extra support. And moving into a twist here, go ahead and bend your, I'll just say right leg, keeping that left leg straightened. And then having that left hand on your block, go ahead and raise that right arm up, sort of like you're drawing a bow. Guess we could call this half moon prep. And next exhale, right hand comes down, right heel settles. Go ahead and switch those hands. Left knee bends. Left heel comes up. And then exhale, drawing that right hand up. Couple more breaths here. And exhaling, coming back down, finding that forward fold. Inhaling, lifting halfway. Exhaling, hands coming to your hips. And inhaling the rest of the way up. And exhaling, finding mountain pose. And closing the eyes. Couple more breaths. And then opening the eyes. We're going to come into squat. So squat and then child's pose. So if you want to go ahead and face the short edge of your mat, please do so. We're going to heel toe your feet out a little bit wider than your hips. Toes are pointing out towards the corners. And bring your hands in front of your chest. Inhaling here. And exhale, bending the knees. If you know you want a block to sit on, go ahead. Feel free to put one under your rears. If you are in the squat, go ahead and have your elbows on the insides of your knees. Give a gentle pressure out with the elbows and in with the knees. About 3 more rounds of breath here. And then releasing, go ahead and bring your hands down. Lower the knees and shift back into child's pose. And arms can be out overhead, underneath your forehead, or back by your, sweeping back by your legs. Whatever gives you that much more space. About 3 more rounds of breath here. And as you are ready, go ahead and lift up and find a seated position. You want to sit up on a blanket or a cushion or a bolster. Bring a little bit more lift in space to the lower back. Finding Dandasana here, the mountain pose of the floor. You're pressing the hands down by your hips. And moving into Janu Shirshasana. So bring your right foot in towards your thigh. Maybe angle that left leg out a little bit. And then go ahead and face that bent leg. Extended leg hand is going to come to that shin. Other hand's going to come to the back of the head. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, gentle side bend over that extended leg. Letting that front leg get nice and heavy. And inhaling gently to lift. And exhale, extend that bent knee out. And we'll move to the other side. So other foot comes in. Again, shifting your chest over that bent knee. Back hand comes to the back of the head. Front hand comes to the inside of that leg. Inhale, lifting. And then exhaling gently over that extended leg. And here, see if you can keep that elbow that's on the back of your head rotating more up towards the ceiling so you're not crunching down. You're more sort of bending to the side to open that, open those ribs. And inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, extending that leg out. Pausing for a couple breaths in Dandasana. Pulling those toes back towards the shins. And moving towards a twist. So that first side, whichever side your first side was, I'm going to bring my left leg over, sort of like think 1/4 cow face pose. So you're going to keep that one leg extended, but the other foot's on the other side of the thigh. So you're going to lift here, grasping the shin to bring some length into the spine. And then exhale, wrapping that extended leg arm around the knee and twisting. I apologize, I did not bring my sides A game tonight. And let that next exhale go ahead and unwind. Gently lift the foot over the thigh and move that. I'll move my right leg out a little bit. Extend the left. And then move to the other side. So left leg's gonna come over, or other leg's gonna come over to straight. That other knee's gonna bend. Again, half, or I guess half cow face here. Gently grip the shin. Inhale to lift. And exhaling, twisting. Out 4 more cycles of breath here. Letting the inhale gently unwind. And the exhale gently wind. And next exhale, gently unwind forward. Uncross the legs. And find seated angle. And if folding forward in this is in your practice, feel free. It is not in mine. Those of you in my camp, just go ahead and press the hands down behind you. And gently see if you can find a little bit of hinging at the hips, keeping those feet active. And then gently lifting if you were folded. And go ahead and bring your legs together. Rest your hands behind you and give your hips and legs a shake. Little etch-a-sketch. And then find your way onto your backs. Do a couple more things here. And bend your knees. And we're gonna come into a quad stretch here. So go ahead and walk your left foot over towards your right foot. And then let that left knee tip out and down to the ground. And reach through with that right hand and see if you can bring your left heel closer to that right sit bone. And walk your right foot over towards your right shin. And once you are there, go ahead and settle into the breath. Breathing into any pockets of tension or tightness that are there. But not having a story as to how they got there. Just recognizing that, oh, they're there. And unwinding, go ahead and walk your right foot over and maybe a little bit out. Release that left foot. Let it slide out and left knee raises. Both knees come to your chest. You rock from side to side here for a moment. And then letting the feet settle down, moving to the other side. So right foot's gonna walk over towards the left. Left foot's gonna tip out. Or I'm sorry, right knee's gonna tip out. Left foot reaches down, brings that right foot up towards the left sit bone. And the left knee is gonna move over. The left foot's gonna move over, I should say. And just breathe here, about 6 or 7 inhales and exhales. And beginning to unwind. Left foot gently walks out and over. Releasing that right foot. Both knees towards your chest. Rocking from side to side. And then gently letting the knees settle. And last thing we'll do is bridge pose. And you can come into supported bridge if something that you'd rather do, or just let the, if bridge is something you don't want to do, go ahead and let your knees rest in towards one another. But if you're going to come into bridge pose with me, go ahead and move your heels toward your sit bones as close as you can. Elbows by your sides, arms or fingers pointed towards the ceiling. Pressing down with the elbows and the triceps and the feet, the shoulders and the head. Inhaling, gently lifting the hips. Spend about 5 breaths here. And let your next exhale gently lower you down. And one last pose here. Go ahead and lift your arms and leg towards the ceiling, finding dead bug pose. And letting the hips and the shoulders and the head get heavy. And maybe bringing the knees into your chest once more, gently rocking from side to side. Then as you are ready, begin to lower everything towards the ground. Grabbing a blanket or a put under the legs or over the belly. Settling into Shavasana. letting go of the doing and settling into the being. And gently begin to deepen the breath. Begin to let it bring you back into the present moment and into sensation. Feeling the floor beneath you. The air on your skin. The motion of the belly. It's the lift of the inhale and the drift of the exhale. And go ahead and however it feels intuitive, begin to bring movement back. Maybe wiggling the fingers and the toes. That motion moving up the arms and the legs. And as you are ready, go ahead and roll onto whichever side calls to you. Letting the head rest against the bicep for a few more breaths. Then go ahead and push yourselves up into a comfortable seated position. Grabbing whatever props you need. And once more, closing the eyes. And I will, before I let you guys go on into your days or your evenings, wanted to share this with you. It's something that stirs my soul. It wasn't written by a yogi or with yogis in mind, but I find speaks to the freedom of disciplines like this. So if you will humor me. Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and have danced the skies on laughter's silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have never dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager self through footless halls of air. Up, up the long delirious burning blue. I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, where never lark or even eagle flew. And while with silent lifting mind, I've trod the high untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God. Thank you for sharing your practice tonight. And to each of you, namaste.